Welcome to episode 74, where today the Retrograde team are going to be out. Oh, crap!
What went wrong there?
Welcome to episode 74, where today the Retrograde team are going to be hacking away at Goldivax. My name is Jack Marshall, and I'm joined today by Anthony Hobday.
Hello.
Lysanne Fisher.
Hi.
And James MacFadyen.
Hi.
Yay! Penultimate episode, penultimate.
Yeah.
My favourite word. Been using that big word all day. Been telling no one about it. Penultimate. But it is. It's our penultimate episode, and we're a big thank you to everyone who's been sending us messages and text messages and tweets and everything. Text messages. No one sent any text
Thanks
messages.
to people
Sorry.
who called us.
Thanks to that dude that showed up at my house.
Yeah. No, we've had a lot of feedback and a lot of people upset about it. Some people not so upset. They're like, oh, fair enough. You know, yeah, makes sense. But we'll be talking about those in our final episode, which will be in 2 weeks' time. Episode 75, the big 7-5. Makes sense to end it on a
does
7-5.
Lysanne know that we're ending the show?
She hasn't been here for so long.
She
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
here for
true.
the announcement,
Welcome back, Lysanne. It's good
Yeah,
to see
I know.
you.
Sorry, life got in the way.
Diablo 2 got in the way, you mean?
The cursed thing. Yeah. No, life got in the way. So 4 weeks ago, Neil and I moved house into our lovely new house. And then 2 weeks ago, Ofsted decided to turn out the next day, which for those of you not in the UK, that's
heavy-
the
heavy
government
metal band.
inspectors of schools, which instantly means we've got less than 24 hours to do loads and loads of prep, which I'm not going to bore you with now. But anyway, so that's why I couldn't do it, which really annoyed me because I hate missing podcast.
Because you
Because
love
I
Diablo
miss.
2.
Because no, I'm glad I didn't have to play that. No, but I'm. No, because I miss you guys.
Don't worry
And I'm gonna miss you guys when it ends. We'll never see each other.
I'm
No,
sad
it's
about
true.
the fact
Only
that I
Anthony
will
came
never
to my
see you.
housewarming party on Saturday. You know.
I was at a gig.
To be fair, I was ill. Jack just told me.
Oh.
I was at a gig. Sorry,
I had an
had
Ofsted
tickets.
inspection. I had
Well
an
played,
Ofsted
James.
inspection, except I was going inspecting James. So we both
well-
had an Ofsted inspection.
well, hello.
It was
Yeah.
the same inspection.
So yeah, I'm really sorry,
grade-
listeners. That's
what
why I
grade
wasn't
did you
here.
What grade?
What grade did you get in biology?
Requires improvement.
The teacher doesn't get a grade in biology. He gets a grade in whatever lesson he... I mean, James does teach biology. That's kind of a coincidence, but...
Teaches me chemistry every day, didn't you, James?
Biology and chemistry are different, and I know that because I'm a chemistry teacher.
Yeah, I went to go see a gig. It was a really good gig. A band called 4 Years Strong. Just thought I'd mention that.
How long have
40
they-
years strong.
4 years
How
strong.
long have they been
Really good.
touring then?
Well, I was expecting a bunch of like. Clever. I was expecting a bunch of teenagers to walk on stage because they're very like noising, and I was like, "Oh, there's gonna be a bunch of like 16-year-olds."
They were actually all black lesbians.
Grown men walk on stage with massive beards. I was like, "Oh, this band have actually been around for like 15 years." I thought I was getting down with the kids.
15 years strong doesn't
Turns
have the
out
same
I was
ring
getting
to it.
down.
No.
I was getting down with the middle-aged guys as well. So
Wait, 15 years strong makes you sound more experienced and like you're successful. 4
If
years
you-
strong, anyone can go 4 years.
if you had
We've
a-
only got 4 years.
if you had a rock band, what would you call them? Oh, on the spot. James, you must have thought about
Successful
this.
band.
Successful band.
I call it Tyrus Flair.
Mouse rat.
The Wi-Fi password is. It's a good name for a band. No, actually, I remember I was going to be in a band with my brother. We were going to call the Holy Guacamoles.
Is that a good password because you walk on stage and say the Wi-Fi password is like?
It confuses everyone.
No, but you wouldn't say that. You'd say where the Wi-Fi password is.
Or wet paint, so wherever you play, people aren't leaning on the walls.
No,
Be
because you
brilliant.
would say we're called and then your name. You wouldn't just walk on and say wet paint. It's not Nirvana.
And
I'd
give
say
it up for
Nirvana.
wet
I'd be
paint.
like, keep going, where? Where? Am I leaning on it?
I just said Nirvana as if Nirvana's still going. It's not as if, I don't know, Muse walks on stage and says, Muse! And just starts playing. It's like, Muse!
I like when a band says we are whoever, so I go, oh, that's who I'm here to see. Oh, yeah. Like when a film, it's like when a film, I hate when a film at the end of the film puts the name of the film. Like they don't have an opening credit sequence, then right at the end it suddenly ends and goes, Skyfall. It's like, was that the intro? It's just like, I just watched 3 hours of that film.
I like to believe that the band walks on the stage, says we are Muse, and someone in the audience goes, wait, what?
Wait till-
I was here to see Mussy. What's the...
What's the Wi-Fi password?
I'm covered in wet paint. This band's announcements are not up to
I would
scratch.
go see a gig if the lineup was wet paint. The Wi-Fi password is headliners
And
Brilliant.
Mussy.
And Mussy.
Supporting.
No,
Everyone thinks
not
we're Muse.
Everyone thinks we're Muse. Isn't there a joke in Community where they're here to see Green Day, but it's Day with D-A-Y-E or something?
Oh, yeah, and they're Irish band.
Yeah.
What have you guys been up to? Dun, 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 dun,
I
blimey.
almost went to see Muse. I didn't quite make it, so Adam, friend of the show, managed to go instead.
You're wearing your Muse t-shirt today as well.
Crap, so yeah, but that's probably why Anthony thought of Muse. That's
Yeah.
That's some Darren Brown shit. Yeah, so I didn't see them, unfortunately. but Adam did, so ask him about it, or don't, I don't care. I started to play Bloodborne, because it came out finally. All my dreams came true. The game is fantastic. It's really good.
Did you birth blood?
Yeah. I mean, I have many Bloodborne diseases now.
Is that what Bloodborne means?
No.
I thought that might actually be a medical term. I was like, bloody hell.
Bloodborne means born of blood, so you come
Yeah.
out of it.
Right, okay, so you would never say a baby's been bloodborne. Oh.
Well, you might.
If it came out of blood, yeah.
If I had a baby, it would be Bloodborne, because I love the game so much, I'd call it that. But the game is really good.
Bloodborne MacFadyen.
Design-wise, it is very good also.
I think
You've got less eloquent as this podcast. You were so sophisticated at
It's
the start of this
genius.
podcast.
Like, they take a lot of ideas from Demon's Souls and Dark Souls, and they make it more
Shocker.
accessible, but not shallower, which is really hard to do with something like that.
I don't want to say anything
Okay.
completely out there, but I think Hideo Kojima has outdone himself this time. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
But I'm confused because now there is also Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 2.
2?
Yeah, they're doing a re-release on the next
Right.
gen, current gen. I couldn't go back after this. They've changed the combat. They've made it better. Like, there's no drawback. It's just better now. So playing Dark Souls or Dark Souls 2 again would be, I'm not sure I could.
I treated myself this weekend to Alien Isolation, and I'm loving it. It's
Yeah?
brilliant.
Still haven't broken into the vacuum pact or whatever Alien...
Aliens, Warhammer Marine game.
Alien,
No.
yeah, the Alien Marine.
That's still wrapped up in shrink
Yeah.
wrap. So's Deus Ex.
Is that your retirement fund?
Yeah, that's my retirement fund. It's going to my kids. I've got loads of games that are still wrapped up. I've got Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag on the Xbox 360.
Oh,
still
he's
wrapped
not
up.
going on about his treasure chest of games, is he? That he's never played.
What else, Jack? List them all.
What else is still in the wrapper?
I'll tell you what game I bought in the last week, which is rubbish and
Something-
don't waste your money on.
Soul Silver.
Mario Party 10.
Oh, yeah, I could have
Yeah,
told you
I've
that.
heard it. I was going to buy it, and I read reviews, and
Oh.
it's terrible.
I really wished I'd read reviews before I bought it. I'm
All
just
the-
going to take it back and hope I can get some
But
money for it.
They even know it's terrible because they're selling it for about 25 quid, which for a Nintendo like flagship title is really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good. It's really
Yeah.
bad. Mario Party 8 was incredible because you went around the board on your own. It was essentially just a board game.
Yeah.
Mario Party 10, the boards are really short and it's all of you in a cart together, which
Yeah.
apparently is reminiscent of some past Mario Parties.
Mario Party 9 did it as well in the car.
In the car, yeah.
Mario Party
and it
9
was...
is a past, like, a nostalgic Mario Party now.
No, it was in Mario Party
Boom.
4 or 5 or something that they had the
Boom
cart
Street.
thing.
That's another game I've got in the wrapping because that's basically a Mario Party rip-off that I left in wrapping because that'd be my sang one day. But anyway, sorry, go on.
It's terrible. It's all because you're in the cart and you're going around and it's complete luck. There is no skill whatsoever.
Can you
Whereas
have
in
fun?
Mario Party 8, there was skill.
Could you have fun just playing the mini games?
No. Because the mini games are just the normal Wiimotes. They don't use the gamepad at all, unless
really?
unless you want to
Bowser's
do
on the gamepad,
unless
isn't
you want
he?
to do the Bowser gamepad. But then you have, if you do that, I was reading one review because I didn't bother playing it because it was so rubbish. You have to have the Bowser gamepad. And you have to have your Wiimote, and you have to use them separately if you're
Yeah.
playing as Bowser. You have to use the gamepad for when you're in the board, and then the Wiimote for when you're in the mini games.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. It's really, really poorly
It's been
made.
like the first Wii U title out in like about a month and a half.
And they've
as
just
well.
announced they're delaying Zelda to 2016.
Lysanne, did you buy the Captain Toad
Very
treasure
annoyed.
tracker?
Yes, it's amazing.
Yeah?
Yes,
It
it
looks
is
good.
brilliant.
Friend of the show, Mark,
is
really likes
awesome.
it. Actually, he already said he really liked it as well.
Friend of the show, Mark, you say? Oh.
Yeah, friend of the show, Mark.
I have to talk to
Pilot
friend of the
Wings
show, Mark,
episode.
about
Check him out.
It is really, really good. Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is great.
Anthony, anything to share?
I went to Lysanne's house.
Oh, how's the new house? It's all right.
Yeah, it's nice.
Sorry I couldn't make it. I'll be over soon.
Will
Very
you?
Sooner than you know.
Oh no!
Sounding weird. Good.
He's putting his shoes on as he's saying.
Getting a key cut. Just grinding a key down over here.
You say getting a key cut, yet your gesture.
Yeah. That's a trade I should have learned, key cutting. That's never going to go out.
What do you mean? Of course it will.
I should buy a treat.
Hotels even have stopped using keys now. They use the credit cards.
I find it insane when people move. Did you change the locks when you moved in?
No.
Change the locks?
Why?
Because the ex-people could move in.
We've got all their keys. We've got all their keys.
used to be people, but now they're ex-people.
But what's stopping them from like...
We've got their keys.
I've still got the key to most of my old... No,
That's
yeah,
because
but come
you're
on.
weird and you keep the key. You're not meant to keep a key.
In case of emergencies.
In case you really
Why? In case you're going to go around and attack someone.
In case you need to rob them.
Because, I'll tell you why, if there was suddenly like a plague or a zombie outbreak, I've got like 6 properties now in this city.
I'm sure that's illegal in some kind of
Then
way.
you break up and they'd be holed up because there's a zombie plague and they'd kill you as soon as you walked in because they thought you were a zombie.
I'd be like, guys, I've got safe houses all over the city, don't worry, follow me. How have you got
Guys,
this
more like
place?
ladies.
Get the keys. Ignore.
Listen, ladies. I don't want to boast, but I have 6 safe houses. There are people in them, but let's just say they're my friends.
A house for each of my hoes. That's what I do. Spread them around.
But yeah, we had our housewarming party, which was good fun.
I watched Nightcrawler, and James, I apologise
Oh,
that I
is
didn't watch
that
it
good?
sooner because it's fantastic.
It's meant. Is that
welcome.
the Jake Gyllenhaal one?
Yeah.
it's meant to be brilliant,
He's
isn't
finally
it?
watched a film you made.
I'm just glad. I'm glad you liked it, man. You know, it took a lot of effort. Quite a few years of work from quite a few different people. So yeah, I'm glad it got a good reception there.
And I watched The New Hobbit, and it's crap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like actually, I can't believe how much Lord of the Rings has fallen from grace when I was watching that film. I was like, this is so.
I don't
boring.
think I'll be showing my children the Hobbit movies.
I'm
I
gonna
think I'll
drop
just
a-
say, this is Lord of the Rings.
Did you know someone's made a version of it called the
Yes.
dwarfed version?
Oh no, I knew someone had re-edited The Hobbit to make it just
Yes.
the book. And it's an hour and a half, and it's actually great.
And it's called the dwarf version. So someone's
Right.
taken the first 2 films and edited it down so it's just the bits that are actually in the Hobbit book. And apparently
Yeah.
it's meant to be really good. And I've never heard before of a film where someone has shortened it to make it better. Like I've heard of director's cuts that make things better, but I've never heard of someone going, you know what, I'm going to cut out like 50% of this, and people go, that's a lot better
The
actually.
thing is, I want them to do that for the Lord of the Rings, to take out the Hobbits so that I can watch them again.
What?
Because all of their parts are just really, really annoying.
What, the Hobbits? What, Merry and Pippin?
No, they're fine. The other two.
That's what happens when they just turn up.
Frodo and Sam.
Yeah, the ones that are always hugging and stuff.
It just starts with Aragorn in a pub on his own. Going,
Yeah.
If you take out them, it's literally just a film of long panoramic shots of people running across slightly hilly terrain, and then miscellaneous battle sequence number 7.
That's so dynamic.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know, I get it, because then you can make up your own plot line, and you can imagine
you
what's
could-
going on yourself.
No, they could talk about the Hobbits, or maybe put up like a title card, like the Hobbits go to Mordor, and then cut back to the people who are important. It's just the
Sam
Hobbits.
hugs Frodo again.
The Hobbits just walk around complaining at each other and getting in trouble with one person.
But then you don't get
Tom.
all... Yeah, you don't get all Smeagol's awesome stuff.
I don't want to hear stuff. He's so whiny.
No,
Just
but
give it a rest.
he was
3
really
small
good.
people.
The Lord of the Rings films do actually suck, though. I've always hated them. They're just really
Oh,
boring.
don't be.
Oh, no, I do.
don't be
I
silly.
did enjoy
They're
them.
good. They're good in terms of being music videos because the soundtrack is great. I love that. But the actual films themselves, I don't know. I just too much action, too many people like bashing each other with swords. Not enough
Do you not like that?
weird, cool stuff.
Do you not like Game of Thrones either then?
Game of Thrones is 99.99% political intrigue. There's like barely any action.
That's true.
In other news, my
And
sister
boobs.
got into medical school,
Yay!
which is good.
Speaking of Game of Thrones.
I played Bloodborne for like 27 hours these last 2 weeks, but it's good to know one of us is doing something with their life.
Was it like
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So it means if the Tories do sell off the NHS, you can go to your sister and get free medical care
Exactly,
anyway.
yeah. Well, she'd probably
Nice.
charge me because she's like that, but...
Oh,
Scottish.
James,
Yeah, well, that's out of order.
I just realised what you
Sorry.
said about Bloodborne and the 27 hours and not doing anything with your life, and I think you shouldn't be so hard on yourself because you just directed a hit film with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's a great accomplishment. Has your sister
Well,
directed a hit
I
film
don't.
with
I
Jake
don't
Gyllenhaal?
want to. More of a cult classic. More of a cult
It's
classic.
Gyllenhaal.
And
No.
don't tell me about fucking source code. That's ridiculous.
Source Code was awesome.
I liked Source Code.
No, it was great. I was just trying to think of a Jake Gyllenhaal
I've never
film that
seen-
wasn't Donnie Darko. So I
You should
don't
watch
name it.
Source
Never
Code.
seen
It's
Source
good.
Code.
You should watch it. It's good.
I watched a film the other week called Clown by Eli Roth, about a guy who puts on a clown suit and he can't get it off, and he turns into this monster clown creature.
Is that not Is that not it?
No, that's it.
Oh, okay.
This is called Clown. And it was surprisingly tastefully done. I actually quite enjoyed it. It was actually pretty good for a horror
Surprisingly
film.
tastefully done.
Yeah, it was.
I'm
I was
struggling to
expecting
see
to
how
be-
that is possible.
Well, like,
given
I,
it's
I read the blob and went blurb and went, this sounds rubbish. I read the blob and it sounded awful. And then I actually
Then
watched
you
it.
watched it.
Wasn't actually that bad. I was actually emotionally tied to the lead character. He was like, it was really tormenting him.
Is he an anti-hero or is he a regular?
He doesn't. His goal is that he has to eat 5 children,
Oh,
and he's
okay.
really hungry. And he's
That
like,
reminds me of someone I know.
and he's like,
Wait, why are you pointing at Anthony?
and he's like, I want to get away. He's like, I gotta get away from these little kids because he's going. And it's like, oh no. I felt,
Is
I
it like
felt
an
for
allegory
him.
for paedophilia?
I didn't get that deep into it. I just liked the bit where he had a kid.
Did
in
he
a
get
ball
that
pit.
deep into it?
Oh no, I knew you were going to do that.
Because
I knew you would do that, Jay.
might have to check out
Oh,
this film.
episode 74.
Retrograde
Oh.
recommends.
We read it all the time. Yeah, it's good.
Clown.
Anyone got anything else to share before we go into the competition
One
time?
last thing.
Yeah.
Neil and I did something quite important yesterday.
After the show, Lysanne.
No, we officially gave legal notice of our intent to marry, which you
To
have
who, each
to
other?
legally do. Yes,
That's the most romantic part.
You have to do that. Well, you have to.
you
say
have
we
to. You have
intend
to give
marry.
notice. You have to officially notify
God's sake.
that you are getting married, then it goes on a display board for 28 days in your county's head office place, so it's up in Crawley. So
Why?
you've got 28 days to object to Neil and I getting married.
Don't worry, I've already submitted my
But
objection.
you have to give a proper legal reason. You can't just say no.
I didn't know that was a thing.
You-
I would just
yeah,
go in and do it
legally-
for random couples.
No, you have to do it.
he's a
and
dragon.
No, because then once you're
She's just two kids standing on each other's shoulders trying to sneak in.
once your 28 days are up, then you get your marriage license issued. And you can only get married once you've got a license to get married. But it's also so they can do background checks on me and Neil to make sure we haven't been married before, or we're not related, and other things like that.
How closely can you be related?
It's really weird because they ask you when you're giving
second
notice.
cousins.
No, first cousins can get
First
married.
cousins get
Really?
married, but they're not allowed to have. Oh no, I guess they can do whatever they want. Then,
No,
can't
first cousins are allowed to get married. It's
Whoa.
aunts, uncles, siblings, parents. I think grandparents as well.
Okay.
But I don't know why you'd want to marry your grandma.
Well,
but I
don't-
I don't know.
Oh shit.
But first cousins,
She's
you're
a looker,
allowed
right,
to.
James?
Show your man.
But no, it's to check immigration and things like that. Make sure we're both legally allowed to get married.
Is it anonymous tipping?
What?
Is it like anonymous?
No,
you
you
go to
have
a
to
phone
submit.
box and
No,
you-
you have to submit
You
it
like a
legally
voice
through a
modulator.
solicitor
So they will know
if you object.
So they will know who it is.
You have to do it through a solicitor, so you have to pay a solicitor to do it for
But
you.
what about
to
that bit at the
object.
wedding when someone says, "If anyone knows any reason"?
Well, that's the last minute moment, yeah, but you
do that
can't.
just
do that then. They should have said, "If anyone knows any reason, you should have turned up to the council." Like,
Well, no,
half
because the
hour,
whole
like-
point is it's
30
supposed to be
days ago.
advertised so that if like it's all
Well,
stems back from the
I
olden
didn't see the
days.
blog post.
No, it's the olden days when like women would run away from their husbands and then they would try and get married again. So
I
it's
hated it
tied-
back when that was a thing.
I know, right? And so it's just to give notice so that people are aware you're getting married in case they know of a reason you can't.
I don't think they should even do that bit in the wedding where they go, "If anyone knows any reason why these two should not be lawfully wed," it's like it's not a time priest. Like, say it before
There's
they're
not
walking
gonna
up
be
the
a
aisle,
priest
goes,
at our
"Right,
wedding, so
Does anyone know why these two shouldn't get married? Anyone? Tips? Come on. Just put it in, like pass around like a bucket and say, just put a piece of paper in if you know any reason why these two shouldn't get married.
If it's not
And I'll
a
just read
priest,
them out.
what's it going to be?
A registrar.
Oh, I thought it was going to be something cool, like
She-
a...
Russell,
Darth Vader.
She's a bit too keen.
something
It might
weird.
be a dwarf registrar. I
That'd
don't
be
know.
good. Then you'd have to refer to them as a dwarf, not
Yeah.
as a registrar, because that's more interesting.
But no, when you give notice as well, they interview you separately to make sure that
Yes,
you
I've heard
actually
about
know
that.
each other
That I do
and
know
that you're
about.
not doing it for fake. So it can't. So
Imagine
Neil.
failing that test.
Well, the thing is, Neil went in first and did all his questions and stuff, and then I went in after, and they asked me confirming each other's answers,
What's
kind of
his
thing.
favourite cereal?
No, the thing is, he had oversimplified what his job was, so I got it wrong.
Ah. Sorry,
And
that's
so-
not funny.
No,
You can't get married.
because his official title is that he's
Neil won.
CTO in his company.
Right.
And so he said, "Oh, what's he doing?" I said, "Oh, he's CTO. He makes apps for a living."
I would have gone Batman.
well,
But
no,
don't tell her that.
Well, that goes on your marriage certificate.
Batman.
And she said, "Can you expand on that a little bit? Because that's not quite what he said." I said, "Right, okay, he's oversimplified it. Did he say he's head of mobile? Did he say he's a programmer? Did he say this? Did he say that?" And she was like, "Yep, you've covered it all. That's fine. Okay, I can take that." And I was just like, I knew he'd do that. I knew he'd simplify it. But, yeah.
Oh, can't get married.
If you want to get married, you could go in and go like, "What do you do for a living?" "Lion tamer." And then when your wife goes in, she's like, "Oh, he's a programmer." She goes, "That's weird. He said he was a lion tamer."
That seems really facile. The fact that
You
they,
can't get married now.
No,
That's a really weird way of getting out of a wedding.
it's because on your marriage certificate it has your job on there
Okay, but why
Really?
do they then have to
Yeah.
cross
What if you change
check
jobs?
that with your spouse?
to make sure that I do actually know who he is and we haven't just met outside 2 minutes before
Why can you not marry
to get
someone?
married for a quickie wedding
Why can you not do that?
because you
Legal
Yeah.
tax benefits.
You could run off with a
Me
dowry,
and-
couldn't
we-
you?
like it's just to stop people marrying each other to get
Yeah.
into the country.
We would save a lot of money if we
Like
got
you'd
married.
marry a stranger.
But then they'll just like coach them beforehand. Surely they're still going to do that, but it'll take like an extra.
Oh, yeah,
week
you
or
could easily
something,
quite.
Well,
fake.
yeah.
You could easily fake it.
But
It's kind of like a farce.
You can't fake intimacy
Almost.
though. That's the hard one.
Well,
That's in the where they watch you have sex part. Of the test.
yeah, that was awkward.
Lay on the bed. Raoul here will grade your intimacy. I don't want the guy testing your ability to...
They're like playing scenarios. Like, let's bring a dog in the room. Now there's a dog watching you. What happens? Things like that. Be brilliant.
The highlight though of the giving notice session was when she was then afterwards explaining different parts of the ceremony. Neil misheard something she said.
Oh, crap.
It was quite hilarious. So she said, and then we get to the moment where you solemnise your vows.
Oh, hello.
And then Neil went, sorry, did you say sodomise? We burst out, me and the lady, we burst out laughing because we were like, no, that doesn't happen in the middle of the ceremony.
Let's pretend you said that, shall we? I've got
No, I said that.
I've got two
I
pecs.
said that.
Pretend you said
But
that.
yeah.
How would that look? If you brought up the vows now, what could I do to them?
It was pretty
Guys,
hilarious.
you're joking, but if that did happen in the middle of the ceremony, that would be ridiculous.
Sodomise the vows?
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't.
Guys, that would just be silly.
Okay.
So yeah, we done it. We done a thing.
I'll probably look away. I'd never sit in the front rows.
You can't look away, that's disrespectful.
I went to a wedding once where there was a picture, and I even spoke to the bride after, months afterwards, where they had a picture where they kissed, and while they kissed, everyone else looked away and covered their eyes. And I said to her months later, I was like, by the way, I thought that was quite weird. Like, I've come here to see you guys get married, not go. This is
Maybe they
weird."
both started to emit energy like a star.
I don't know, but it was. I was really
Have
tempted.
you considered that, Jack?
Brilliant.
Oh.
I was really tempted in the picture that when everyone else was looking away, just to be staring, going, "Oh."
But not at the couple at the camera.
Just pointing with a wink and a smile.
And then as people look at the picture, months later, you've moved and you've got closer to the camera, and then you've aged, but nobody else has. And then you're clawing at the frame, trying to get out.
That'd be great.
And then
It's
you do get out.
a really long going joke that every time I go over, I Photoshop the picture and I switch it around. And it's just me getting closer to the camera. And so she's like, every couple of months, she's like, I swear Jack wasn't standing that far forward in the picture. And then one day it's just me looking in the camera.
That's
That's a long game. That's a long game, Jack gag.
Wasn't
That
that a
took while.
punishment in The Witches for one of the naughty children when they trapped in a painting?
I don't know.
It was a book by Stephen King. A boy gets a camera and then I think it's a Stephen King book. It's a horror book I read where he's taking a photograph with this camera he found, and there's a dog in the photo, and he never takes a photo of a dog. It's just this black dog in a photo sniffing around.
Okay.
And eventually the dog turns around and starts looking at the guy taking the photo, and then getting closer, and then it jumps out of the frame and it's like a demon, and it comes into the real world.
That must have been during the cocaine years.
And I think I'm going to spoil it. I think to end it, they've got to take a photo of the dog again and put it back in the camera.
Would have been the first thing I'd done.
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory, really.
No, because I think the dog knocks the camera out of their hand and it falls down a drain or something.
It's clever.
And it becomes
Drains.
a
That's
super
why.
adventure.
That's why he's
Not
the king
contrived
of
at all.
suspense.
Oh, sewer levels.
That was a joke. I don't know how it actually gets knocked out of their hand.
Let's roll into the Paul Monaghan giveaway for the last time ever. Maybe? Are we doing another one?
I don't know, I think we're going to discuss it and then announce it on Twitter.
All right, let's discuss it. Let's discuss it.
If we're going to do
discuss
another
it after
giveaway,
the
we
show.
can't just do all the games we've got left.
Yeah, the game over giveaway.
Limbo.
We've got to do some. We've got to do
Giveaway
some special
Limbo.
stuff.
We're going to do one final giveaway and it's going to be amazing.
Limbo and Bastion, up for grabs.
We've got to think of
It's
something
not going to be
special.
Limbo and Bastion. It's going to be
that we can
something
give
super
away.
cool.
I've got
You're
a
gonna
spare
love it.
copy of my Hyrule Historia book.
Shh, don't say that out loud, buy me.
Okay.
A plant. You get a plant. Little pot
Potted plant, not
Little
just
pot
any old plant.
No, no
But
pot.
comes
No,
with its own-
no
Wait, a pot
just a plant.
plant.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe we could... I was going to say we could sign something, but no one wants that. Just sign a game, then ruin the game.
If we sign Jack's face, then send you Jack.
Send them Jack's face.
And Jack's
Oh,
to
we
sign his
could-
own
Oh,
face.
God,
And that
imagine if that
part
actually
of
happened.
We could send them a banana. Have you seen people sending bananas in
No
the
one
post?
wants to win a banana.
Maybe you can send them in the
Unless
post
they're
without
hungry.
wrapping them up, which I think is quite funny.
Is that the only
Yeah.
thing you can send in the post without wrapping up?
I've got
You can do
300...
babies as well.
I've got about
You
You can fit them in the
300
letterbox.
I've got about 300 retrograde business cards that I need to get rid of.
Oh, wait, yeah, which is spelt wrong.
Spelt wrong as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Ledge. We'll think of
yeah,
something.
so-
We'll think of something good. If anyone out there's got suggestions of what you think would be a good prize for us to give away on our final show, then tweet it to us and we'll think about it. If you want something signed, then we can do that. But I think that's a bit big-headed that we're going to sign something like you're
We're
going to give a
famous
shit.
now.
I say we're famous.
I directed Nightcrawler. You guys are my friends.
Wait, why don't you give them those 999 badges that you've still got?
How many badges have I
Limited
got?
edition.
I think I might have actually got rid of them all. I gave them all away at Res.
No.
No, not
You
Res.
didn't give them away.
Eurogamer. I
You
left
left
loads
them on
like
tables and then walked away.
I just stabbed people in the back with them and ran off. They were like, what's this stuck in my back? Oh, I'll check out this podcast.
Give us a listen. A listen.
That's how they market
Yeah,
Bloodborne.
Go on and Anthony, drop it on us.
The Paul Monaghan.
Oh, my eye!
The Paul Monaghan giveaway. After what I thought you meant when you said drop it on us, Lysanne saying "ah, my eye" is not a pleasant image.
No, it's meant to be rude. That was
Right,
the-
but it's just.
Who won?
Oh, right. The Paul Monaghan giveaway. Last time we were giving away Lego Marvel Superhero and Bastion. And I think we've given away best in maybe just the third time. But these are the prizes we had, I think, a month and a half ago maybe, and the person who won them never claimed them.
Didn't even want them, yeah.
So we recycled them,
out
and
there.
we actually got a lot of people entering. I don't think it's because of the prizes, because we were giving them away before, they didn't enter this time.
It's because the last show and they want to be Paul Monahan.
Yeah.
They don't even give a toss about
I
the
think
games
the
anymore.
chance
They just
to
want
be a Paul Monahan,
yeah.
is coming to a close. Paul Monahan's always got that chance. He can just wake up in the morning and he's Paul Monahan, so he's lucky.
Oh, living the dream.
But yeah, you could be Paul Monahan any time if you're Paul Monahan. But the winner and the person who's become Paul Monahan for this episode is
Ba-ba-da-ba.
MXMX. And I'm not stuttering. His name is MX twice on Twitter. So
So good they named him twice.
yeah, we're going to send you
Like Duran.
And New York. Yeah.
Wait, no, that's actually called New York because it's New York City, New York State.
Okay.
Don't know if you knew that. I thought
I don't think he did know
Carry
that.
on.
some knowledge bombs.
I thought it was just a song. Carry on.
It is the first song.
It's actually a place as well.
Ooh.
But yeah, we're going to send you the prize details on Twitter, MXMX. And next time, if you want to enter, we haven't decided on a prize yet, but we're going to put it on Twitter because it has to be special. Obviously,
Yeah.
tweet us your ideas
Secret prize.
at Retrograde Show. Tweet us your ideas for a prize for next episode, and also we'll try and think of something amazing. We're going to
Yeah.
sign Jack's face and send you a photo. And then
Sign my face and send you a photo of my face.
yeah,
Signed.
with the signatures. So they'll think it's the photo sign, and they'll realise it's your face
That's my
sign.
face. Tattoos, permanent.
Yeah. We're going to put
yeah.
the details, if there is a final giveaway, and there will be, on Twitter, at Retrograde Show. Find the details on there, retweet
Prize
them.
goes to whoever can figure out Jack's address.
Hey,
Yeah,
did you see
come
there was another podcast that's been set up called That's So Retrograde?
Yeah, you told us about
I
it.
know. I went on iTunes. I typed in Retrograde. And I was like, "What the hell?" There's a whole other show called That's So Retrograde.
That's
So-
why we're stopping.
But
really.
they're like their podcast is about like spiritual things and well-being and stuff like that. It's actually not that bad, but it's
Listen,
no,
check
it's
it out
not that bad.
competition.
Sorry, that was terrible.
Is that why you're wearing that robe?
Well, they're not competition. I mean, but it
Yeah,
just made me
those
laugh because
crystals.
I felt so sorry for them. They must have like, what should we call the podcast? It's called Retrograde. Then they typed it up, and I'm like, oh, there's already some crappy gaming podcast.
That's a strange
called it.
name for a spiritual like mysticism podcast, though.
Well, I reached out to them. I tweeted them and said like, oh, I thought you made a show about us, but
Did
no,
they respond or on
They did-
Twitter?
well, they
or did they come to you in a dream
They
afterwards?
retweeted our tweet, which is kind of like
That's the
it's
weakest
meeting
response.
me halfway. I see.
Because we're promoting them.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, fair play to them. So if you don't want to, like, you're sad that Retrograde's ended, listen to That So Retrograde.
It's not the same at all, but
Nowhere near the same.
That's why they've
our
named it
name
that.
in it.
They're clever. They
Wait,
heard
also it's called That's So Retrograde.
Yeah.
That okay? So when I think that, I don't think like what kind of spiritual stuff is it? Like, what do they talk about?
I think retrograde
Oh,
is
don't
a
maybe-
thing that happens in...
Don't maybe Google it.
It's an astronomy thing, yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's isn't it?
No, wait, astrology.
Not astrology.
I think it's also in astrology,
astronomy.
because that would be the spiritual side of things. It's in astronomy because it's...
It's something to do
Retrograde
with
motion,
star
a planet-
lifespan, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's when a planet goes in reverse.
So
That's what I thought it was, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to sound stupid.
So their last episode, so it's two girls that host it, and they talk about.
Are they annoying Californian
they're
girls
talking
like that's so retrograde?
And I wish this wasn't what their last episode was about because I know you guys laugh, but they talk about internal cleansing, like colonics and colonic hygienists and nutrition and how to
they do
help
not.
that. They
It's
do,
a
seriously.
podcast about
Why is-
colonics.
The
Why
name
is
of the
that
episode is
retrograde?
called.
Sounds pretty shit.
The name of the episode's called Poop There
Where'd
Is.
you get it?
Oh, their logo's much better than ours.
colonics.
It's the colonics, yeah.
They've got a better website than us as well. I won't lie. Pooping is the new sexy. Is the tagline from the episode.
I've known that for years.
Yeah. Yeah, listen
That's
to
why they call you a scat man, isn't it?
Anyway, let's
No,
roll
that's not
in.
what they call me.
You're sitting on the toilet being like, what? Can I say your girlfriend's name?
Yeah.
You're like, Charlotte, come check me out right now. Come check out how sexy I look right now. On the toilet. It's like, no, I won't. Bring the camera.
Bring the podcasting gear. It's time for an episode of
Tweet this.
Retrograde.
Instagram this, Charlotte. Instagram it. I'm doing
Right.
a pose.
We should start talking about Golden Axe.
Oh, why?
I didn't get a game intro. I haven't got a game intro, so I'm just going to read it out. Is that all right, everyone?
Yes.
Golden Axe is a side-scrolling beat-em-up hack-and-slash arcade video game released in 1989 by Sega for the system's 16-bit arcade hardware. It's the first game in several ports of Golden Axe.
You said
Golden ass.
I said Golden Axe.
Don't edit this out, just leave it.
Golden Ask. Yeah, that's about it. To be honest. I've just literally
Train
I've literally
wreck.
copied and pasted a whole blob from Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's all
and I've not actually
everything.
read it, and it's a complete mess of words. So I'm just going to stop there and go Golden Axe.
You know what Golden Axe is. If you're listening to a podcast about retro games, you know what Golden Axe is.
There's one guy out there who's like, what is Golden Axe? This whole podcast makes no sense now.
Let's be honest. Of all the times we've done this show, those game intros have probably been. I mean, thank you for everyone who's actually like joined us and done them for us. But they have been. I don't think anyone's ever gone. Oh, that's what that game is. Oh, I never knew about this game. But yeah, Golden Axe. It's awesome, right? I think it's fantastic. But Anthony, you chose it. Give us a lowdown on why.
My brother had a Mega Drive when we were young.
You had a pet
Shut
rock.
the front door.
You had a pet rock.
Oh, I didn't realise it was open. Tuff, 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 tuff. Bang. Tuff, 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 tuff. And I'm back. Great sound effects provided by Anthony Hobday. Okay. My brother had a Mega Drive. That was Jack leaving.
That was a terrible joke, Anthony.
That was a crowd coming in because they heard my great joke.
If only
Oh, it's a bird.
They walked in.
A bird walks in the door.
Heavy footsteps. Duff, 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 duff. Caw-caw.
Guys, it's getting really crowded in here. We're going to have to get rid of some people.
Get rid of the clown.
We heard you leave.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Stop Skyping in.
I'm shouting from the next room. Guys, it's crowded in there.
I just want to say, this is why...
That's why we're ending the show.
This is why James's sound producer hired me to do the sound effects in Nightcrawler.
Yeah. No, we got our money's worth. So many footstep noises. We could put the cameras way up high and we didn't even need to record any of that stuff.
It's just me looking at the script and it says Jake Gyllenhaal walks in the room. I'm like, okay. Duff, duff, duff. Jake Gyllenhaal leaves the room. Okay, duff, 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 duff.
Get in the hole.
Can we take that again, Anthony? It just wasn't coming through properly.
Golden Axe, why did you use it?
Yeah, I played it when I was younger, obviously. I think it's a great game, but I think it's a great game because there are a lot of side-scrollers, obviously. Well, I mean, more specifically, side-scrolling beat-em-ups in the 8... I was about to say 8-bit. More than 16-bit. 32-bit. What was 8-bit?
Like...
8-bit, original
Super Mario
NES.
Bros.
NES.
No, I thought that was 30... What was 32-bit? Like Windows?
NES.
PS2.
PS2.
16-bit was like Master System, stuff like that.
Right.
If that was 64-bit, then what was the PS3?
PS3?
Yeah.
I don't know. They stopped,
PS3, they
bits
stopped
at that
doing bits when it got to the PS3. That's just
Oh,
like,
wait,
This
wait.
is that.
it was like, I don't know, it was like, I don't know, 16 gigabytes
No.
of memory or something. I don't
point.
know.
NES must have been
Mental.
16-bit, right?
For God's
Because
sake.
Nintendo 64 was 64-bit. One before that was SNES. And so that was
that's a good point.
32-bit.
That's a good point. Yeah, SNES 32-bit.
Alright, so-
NES 16-bit.
No,
then like
because then they
Atari
call them
8-bit.
8-bit.
Okay, so
RPGs
the
and
8-bit,
16-bit
so the third generation of games consoles was the 8-bit era, included the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, Atari 7800, and also the Master System. Then there was the 16-bit systems like the Mega Drive / Genesis, and then you get into yeah, that's
So
about it.
Nintendo jumped
And then the
the gun with that
32-bit was the SNES.
No, 32-bit wasn't the SNES. 16-bit.
What was 4-bit? 2-bit?
The SNES is from the 32-bit era. Yeah, it was more powerful than the Mega Drive. It was 32-bit.
Oh.
So
I didn't
Nintendo
realise that.
didn't do a 16-bit.
No, they went from 8 to 32. And then,
Classic.
and then to obviously,
Classic Nintendo.
then obviously
Yeah.
to then to 64.
They were jumping well ahead of their time.
And then they just started printing money through the Nintendo DS and stuff.
Well, no, okay, my point was the 16-bit era, side-scrolling hack and slashes. A lot of them were quite, jokey, like Battletoads. I mean, a lot of them weren't very serious, like you're going to a city on
This wasn't
rollerblades.
Golden Axe wasn't very serious.
No, but I think it took itself
You
quite
ride on a
seriously.
giant cockatoo in this.
I think it's a cockatrice.
That
But
one,
no-
that purple thing is.
But it took itself quite seriously, and I enjoyed that because
Anthony, look at the game on screen right now and tell me it took itself quite seriously, because there is a man exploding the ground to kill 2 dinosaurs and a weird bodybuilder
They're
guy with a
dragons.
dragons, forgive me. And a weird bodybuilder guy with some kind of like lotion all over his shiny skin.
you can still have that sort of thing and take yourself seriously. I'm saying compared to things like, Turtles in Time and Battletoads, this takes itself seriously.
A pillar of fire just came out of that woman's breasts.
And I don't think it came from her breast, I think it came from her hand.
Oh.
Imagine if she had to cast spells with her breasts, that would be really demeaning.
She's in a bikini.
Yeah,
Like,
that would
I don't
be
know how much worse it
demeaning.
can get.
To be fair, the guy's in a Speedo as well, the Barbarian.
Yeah, but that's a whole...
I mean, it's ridiculous all round. The
That's a
dwarf's the
whole-
only one who's dressed up for battle.
This is true.
Yeah.
The
That's
dwarf
a
is
whole-
also the one with the golden axe, so he's
Yeah.
kind of the only one who's got it together. in
James
this game.
pointed that out to me, and I cannot believe I've never noticed that he's got the golden axe. I've been playing this game for years.
Why do you think it was called Golden Axe?
I don't know, just
I thought
sounds
they were-
Like Golden Eye.
I thought they
You
were
never
trying to
noticed the
get-
guy with the golden eye in the movie. You didn't, did you?
or Octopussy. That no.
That was it. Oh.
Anyway, go on, Anthony.
That girl with 8 octopuses.
I think the plot and how it presents itself. It takes itself seriously. Even
Wait,
though
there's a
obviously
plot?
It's cartoony.
it's
Yeah, there is a plot.
Death Adder.
Between them, they had a full family killed by Death Adder.
It's about the
Just as those
subjugation of
intros.
dragons.
It
Just
is.
like Nightcrawler.
But I like it because it's, as a result, it's quite badass. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's basically like because you had the more serious side-scrolling fantasy-themed hack and slashes, like I think it was Guardian Heroes on the Saturn. That was a weird console, and the really popular Dungeons and Dragons side-scrollers, Shadows over Mister or whatever, and they were quite heavy and they took themselves very seriously.
Yeah.
And so did this, but it was much lighter, so it was much easier to get into.
But why not Streets of Rage?
Because this game had.
Or Double Dragon.
But this game had depth that those games didn't have, which is why I liked it. It had those extra mechanics, like you had to find the elves and knock them senseless and steal their little potions. And then you could sort of roll the dice and hope you got up to enough potions to really be a badass and use the final spell on, the boss of that level or something. And it also had these great, like we're seeing on screen right now, the eagle that you're riding on. It had great world building that, they didn't need to do. They could have just made it sort of generic, but they put that effort in, and I quite like that, even though the mechanics are simple.
When I was a kid, I played on the Atari ST, and the two games we had were Shadow Warriors, which I think was like called Ninja something in America, I think, but we had Shadow Warriors and this, which are two complete different contrasts. One's about ninjas walking through like a beaten up, like Detroit almost, and this is obviously about like dwarves and kicking the crap out of little children and to get blue bottles out of them and stuff like that. And it was great.
They're leprechauns, not children.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny if you think they're children.
Oh yeah, they're not green, are they?
Yeah. One of them is he gives you hot dogs or something.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
I thought they were
like
bratwurst.
he gives you like a pork roast or whatever, like like the classic piece of meat with a bone sticking out of it. I
Yeah.
don't know what that
It's a
actually
turkey
is.
leg.
It's just a turkey leg, yeah.
Wait,
But,
what is it?
Yeah, I thought this
I was
was.
thinking of a ham.
Might be a ham or
I think it's
turkey.
ham.
Well, you get turkeys in side-scrolls a lot as
It
well.
could be like a segment of ribs.
What Golden Axe did that I really liked compared to other side-scrolling beat-em-ups is Golden Axe had a lot of how do I explain this? I want to say vertical width as you're moving up and down.
Yeah.
Because
Height.
height, I guess. Yeah. vertical.
Well, no, the way he's
Oh my
describing it, it's not silly, but it is it's the width of the level, like the width of the
Yeah,
stage.
it's
not the height
It's not the height. It's
to them. It's the width.
It's the kind of how many lanes you can walk down.
Do you mean the depth?
They should
Yeah,
add an
depth.
extra.
Depth is that.
They should add an extra axis to the whole axis thing to describe that.
Yeah,
We've got
maybe.
X and Y, but
What
maybe
about
Z?
Z?
Z.
A Z axis.
Because in this game, I like the fact that you can accidentally hit your comrades, friendly fire in this, and you can
Comrade.
throw them around and
You
stuff
say
like that.
accidentally, but you're manhandling my warrior princess quite often.
Oh yeah, and I like that, and I think they allowed you to do that because if you were both on the same kind of like I guess line of battle, which is kind of the thing you have to kind of move up and down and goes right. Am I about to hit this guy? I'm about to hit this guy. Yeah, I'm about to hit him. Now I hit him. And I like that. That was good. Whereas I played like Shadow Warriors, Double Dragon. Double Dragon did I guess, but Shadow Warriors certainly didn't have that level. We only had like about 4 lanes almost. If that makes sense. And it was quite hard. I think just the general angle of the level was very good.
And that's an example of it taking itself seriously. That's what I like. Even though it's a very fun game and it's got all the funny sound effects, I think they sat down and said, what interesting mechanics can we fit into this game? And even though it's quite simple, they did quite well.
Well, like the harder levels get narrower. I noticed as you're going along. And they have stupid bits where there's like a jump you got to do, which is like, oh, and it's like because their jumping's terrible.
Yeah, no, I struggled with that bit.
But yeah, I think it's an awesome game.
I find these games really hard to go back to because of the collision, the hit detection. It's just, I don't know if it's me or the game. I'm guessing probably the game. But I find it really hard to actually hit people accurately or consistently, because, it's good that it has many different sort of planes, but I find it more difficult than I should to line myself up with the enemy, which really irritates me. And you don't have that problem as much in actual 3D games because you have more depth perception there.
I relied a lot on magic because I, like you, found it more difficult to actually attack things accurately and kept getting killed, much to Neil's amusement. So Yeah, so I just used to rely on magic quite a lot.
Yeah.
Get surrounded and then boom, bust out the magic
Just like
and
in
kill
real
them all. Yeah, just like in real life.
I think the game used, like, we're watching it now on screen and we've got it in kind of, I don't know, what's this called when it shows you game, like sleep
Demo.
Demo mode, that's it.
What's wrong with you today?
I know, my brain's just gone.
Vertical height mode.
Sleep mode.
Is it the strain of having to remember to use the word penultimate?
Oh,
is that what's
it's
done it?
playing on my mind. I'm going to get it tattooed on my arm. But I noticed when we were watching. I noticed when we were watching Sleep Mode that it was often that they keep showing the magic spells, and I guess it's because it does look awesome. Like if you've got 25p and you're walking through an arcade, you're like, well, which one to do? And then you see a barbarian go whoa and throw this magic in the air. It's kind of weird because I guess the whole point of this sleep/demo mode is to attract you to play the game. So the magic is a massive selling point to go,
Yeah.
Ooh, this is awesome. You can't do this in Double Dragon. You can't set fire to the whole screen for 2 seconds.
I like that you were thinking in terms of quarters, but you still said 25p.
Oh yeah,
Because you were translating it to pound sterling.
I guess it would be 20p, wouldn't it?
It's putting a 20 and then 5 pence in.
Yeah, there's no such thing as a 20. I'm sure I used to play arcade machines that were 25p a play though. You put a 50p in.
What home consoles was this released on?
All of them, pretty much.
So it was on the SNES.
It was on the Atari
It was
ST.
made by
that.
Sega, it wasn't on SNES.
Well, that's why I asked, because I
yeah, that's a
never
good point, actually.
I never had a SNES when I was young, and I never played games like this because Nintendo weren't making any of them. They were like mostly on the Sega platforms, which I find strange because it's a whole genre of games.
I think a lot of them were, like this one did, started in the arcade, so I guess Nintendo didn't have such an arcade presence.
That's a good point.
It was on obviously arcade, Mega Drive, Genesis, Master System, PC, DOS, Amiga, Atari ST, Amstrad, Commodore 64, and then it kind of PCE, CD, Wonder Swan, Spectrum.
Oh, Wonder Swan. Cool.
And then it eventually made its way to Xbox Live Arcade, PSN, iOS, Android, Virtual Console, everything. On Live, you even got an online version.
So you could say that they were, in many ways, doing what Nintendo don't.
Well, came onto the Virtual Console.
I deserve that, guys.
What have I never seen on Monday? I guess I jokingly said that this is kind of like Bloodborne. This is like Dark Souls, but like an earlier version.
Yeah, I mean,
What Metal Gear on
see-
the NES is to Metal Gear Solid on the PlayStation. This is to Dark Souls.
Yeah, I mean, not at all, but
It's all about movement and positioning yourself.
Yeah. Skeletons.
I would compare it more to like God of War, Devil May Cry than Bloodborne.
See, it just reminds me of Jason and the Argonauts because of the skeletons.
Yeah. And the guys in
Which was happy for me, 'cause I like that
Strawberry
movie.
Clubs. And even the women you find, like, it's funny. Like, okay, there are the male characters have got like no clothing on the way, just wear a speedo. But the women characters are like wearing bikinis, walking around with
Yeah.
swords.
Well, of course they are. Girls don't need armour. We're badass enough.
It's kind of
We just
weird.
fight in our underwear.
It is kind of weird because there's a lot of politicized stuff in gaming now. But when you actually look back in ye olde times, like in Golden Axe, for example, they are just wearing bikinis. It's ridiculous. Like it's easy to forget, and I do sometimes forget. But this is silly.
What, how misogynistic?
Yeah, fantasy in particular. Fantasy in the 80s and 90s. Like I'm reading an Arthur C. Clarke novel, and it's like there's one part where it's like, oh yeah, men biologically, yeah, they cheat, and so now society. This is like the year 2050 or whatever in his book. Men have like set relationships up so they can have many wives and whatever. It's like fantasy and sci-fi. It's just I don't know. It's moved in a good direction. I think. And so it's a bit awkward going back and playing a game like this and having it be so flagrant.
Yeah, it's true. Well, look at Double Dragon. At the end of the game, you have to fight your own brother or whatever to get the girl. Is that Double Dragon? It was Double Dragon, wasn't it?
I didn't know.
You're playing the whole game to get a girl, and then right at the end, it goes, "Now you must fight each other for her hand."
That's kind of the
And you
objective of
fight
a
each
lot of
other,
old
and it's
classic
like, blimey.
games. Like even Mario, it's all about getting the princess.
Yeah, but you never fight Luigi at the end, do you? Luigi just takes a back seat and gets
Well,
sloppy
actually, there's that
seconds.
battle mode.
Well,
in
that's
which
why
you
they
do fight
invented
Luigi.
Daisy, was so that Luigi could have a girlfriend.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
is
true.
Daisy Luigi's
I thought that's why I
girlfriend?
invented
Yeah?
Yoshi.
You know,
Oh.
is that?
Well, but where does
No.
Waluigi fit into all of this?
Waluigi.
Well, Luigi and Wario, they're incestuous brothers.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
pretty sure there's a bad version of Peach and Thingy Bob that appeared in a game once.
Peach-Luigi.
There was a female version of Waluigi.
Wapeach. Wapeach.
Weech.
Now I want to check.
Weech and Wazy.
Female.
Wazy.
Daisy.
It sounds strange. I don't know. Wazy. I can't believe I've never heard that word before. Wazy. It sounds like a thing, doesn't it?
Well, there's an app called Waze, which is a good driving app because it tells you where to go.
Well,
Navigation, some call it.
Cool.
By satellites, wouldn't
Is it
you know?
good for the vertical width?
Oh, no.
Does it teach you that? 'Cause I'm still having trouble with that.
There's no female version of Wario, sadly. Or
so misogyny
Waluigi.
lives on.
I'm sure there was, though.
Well,
Gutted. There's a female version of Yoshi
I don't think
called
they wanted
Birdo.
to promote the idea that bad people get girlfriends.
no.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
Yeah,
Bowser's never had a girlfriend, has he?
That's
Or
why he
trying.
kept stealing Peach.
Well, he's had Peach for ages.
If he had a girlfriend, she would have been pissed that he kept stealing Peach.
Think
But
about the
there
amount
are
of time Peach
female-
spends with
No,
Bowser.
but Bowser
and
has
with
kids.
Mario.
There are female.
Super Mario World, they're all his kids.
But they're also all lizards, so he must have had sex with another lizard lady. They're not half human,
and
half
just
lizards.
won loads of eggs.
Yeah. Also,
Well,
they're
kind
really good kids. Like one of them's Beethoven, one of them's
One
the
of
rest
them's
are kinda
Iggy.
sucky, but-
Remy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lemmy.
One of them's a girl, like with a
Wendy.
big bow. So there are female Bowsers. So Bowser must have had.
No, they're
like-
not Bowser's. Bowser's his name.
Well, there's a female whatever Bowser.
Come on.
is.
Roy.
Roy. Yeah. Who could forget Roy Cooper?
Morton.
Morton Cooper.
Not Coopers?
Coopers? No, they're too. No, they're like just turtles. I don't know
No,
what Bowser
he's
is.
King Koopa, dude.
So he's probably just found there's probably a Queen Cooper somewhere then.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
She is mad that he keeps
She,
stealing a woman.
well, yeah, it keeps stealing
I
the
know, right?
princess.
Like,
Or maybe,
a
oh no,
princess,
backstory,
it's not a
maybe, maybe Mario killed his wife. And
Oh, God, that'd
and
be-
all the kids, and so, no, he didn't kill the kids.
I would play a
but
game
like
called
Bowser and all the kids are seeking revenge,
Oh my
and so they're
God.
trying to get Princess and kill her, so Mario can feel the same pain. Mario's actually the villain, and Bowser is the hero.
So he killed them. He killed them, and then he went to the insane asylum, and he thought he was a detective, and they went around. And then he what? And then what?
That's
Mario.
Shutter Island.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about my new backstory.
Mark Ruffalo was in that.
I'm pitching it to Bowser.
then-
Don't steal it.
But then
Bowser Origins.
Is just,
Yeah,
Bowser's just keeping Peach in a prison rather than killing her. He had her so many times. Just
it's to lure Mario so we can kill Mario.
nobody wants to kill Peach and leave Mario with his torment.
He wants her alive.
That's a good
No, he
point.
doesn't.
Can we take a moment to
Backstory.
address how weird it would be if the gender roles were reversed? So it was just a human guy constantly trying to kidnap this lizard princess. That'd be weird. Why is nobody making that game, huh? Well, I don't know, guys.
I think Bowser just wants some of that human goodness. You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, so Golden Axe. Anything? I've completely lost my train of thought. on Golden Axe.
I enjoyed it more than regular beat 'em ups. It was slightly more interesting in that
Well, you
it.
quite liked Turtles in Time, didn't you?
Well, yeah, that's because it was turtles. So
I
you know.
felt more.
But I mean, as opposed to a generic beat 'em up like Street Fighter, where it's just here fight,
Street Fighter
and
isn't
then
a
you
beat 'em
fight.
up. It's a
This-
fighting game.
Well,
Different genre, Lysanne. Different
I
genre.
thought
I
I
like-
thought that was the definition of a beat 'em up.
No,
no, this is a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah.
Street Fighter's a regular like fighting
Street
So
game.
yeah, that's what I said. It's not a regular beat 'em up.
Fixed beat 'em up, I guess.
I don't think beat 'em up covers
Scroll
that.
slightly depending on the mode.
Anyway, I enjoyed it because there was a bit more. You know, you had the magic element to it. I liked the fantasy theme about it. That was cool.
I liked. I felt like
I like the
compared.
pink dinosaurs.
I liked in this compared
Dragons.
to say Double Dragon and all these other Turtles, even the Turtle games. In this one, I felt more like an actual hero. Like I liked when you walked into a village and all the people go, save us, and then you walk in, there's a guy just like kicking a guy in the head for like 5 seconds, going and like buildings on fire, and it's kind of the very nameless characters that you wander in. It is fun. I felt like I was empowered when I played
As long
this
as you
game.
felt like a hero.
Also, it's got that fun mini game where those little idiots steal your.
Yeah, you kick the crap out of little kids with
Steal
the
your
children.
stuff.
Yeah,
Their giggling incessantly was really annoying.
that's true.
Just send them into battle. They got loads of magic.
Yeah, exactly.
What's with the FBI warning?
They put that in
Oh,
games
loads of old games.
on arcades.
Really?
Loads of old arcades had the winners don't use drugs pop up. It's in the episode of The Simpsons where Bart's playing like a King Kong game and King Kong falls, he lands on the floor, and then Richard Nixon walks over and kicks him and goes, winners don't do drugs. Kicks him for a bit. But yeah, it was always on American arcades. They stuck winners
I want
don't
to take
do
a
drugs.
moment because the plot was mentioned earlier, but these screens at the front, you keep seeing the various characters. First of all, the barbarian
Concept art.
Axe Battler, which is
I don't
No,
get it.
Axe
though.
equals Battler.
they keep putting equals in between names.
Yeah, I know. So
Yeah, I
you've
never
gotta
got
say
that.
But
It's just poor grammar.
like they're giving him a bit.
Or
His
poor
parents
maths.
gave him a name that sort of set his fate in stone. Like he can't go into Tyrus Flair. Sounds like that's a good name for a woman, right? But Axe Battler, you can't go into accountancy with
Or
a
a
name like Axe
boxer.
Battler.
All of their family were killed by this guy. Her mother and father was, the dwarf's brother was, his family were. Death Adder's got a right problem, isn't he?
Why would
Why
you
is it
leave
called-
the strongest members of the family to come and wreak vengeance on your armies?
They were young when it's like Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
Also, why is Axe Battler called Axe Battler when the dwarf's got the axe and he's got a sword?
It's true. Should be sword
Just to
battle.
let us know that he could if he wanted to. But
Or Craig. Craig would have been good.
Craig.
Craig Battler.
And then there's Death Adder, who is the most generic boss.
He
you could
doesn't look
ever
like a
see.
snake.
Death Adder.
I
wanna
thought
see-
Adder, he'd look like a snake.
I want to see the little bio for Death Adder as kills everyone else's family.
kills all.
Tragically had families fall on his axe repeatedly.
No, Death Adder's like, tragically misunderstood, or something like that. Has anger issues.
Suddenly the good guy's the bad guy. So don't kill him.
There's never been a good video game where you end up being the bad guy at the end.
Yeah, there has.
Go on.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh, that's a bloody
Not
good
really,
example,
though.
James. Well done. That is good. No, that was good.
It's not a good example.
That's the best game where you become the villain at the
You
end.
don't become the villain at the end.
You are the villain. You were the villain the whole time.
Yeah,
I mean,
you-
spoilers for Shadow of the Colossus, by the way.
No,
but-
you were trying to save your lost love, and then things happen at the end that kind of make it murky. But you weren't the bad guy the entire time, and you were killing giant monsters.
They're not monsters. They're innocent dudes just going about their business because they're nice.
Because they attack you as soon as they notice you.
They're
and
beautiful creatures of the land.
Yeah, so do hippos. Are hippos evil?
Hippos don't attack
If you
as
go
soon as
into
they
a
notice you.
giraffe enclosure, they're gonna like lash out. That doesn't mean you should kill all giraffes.
And they come over and be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
Isn't Bioshock Infinite one where
I'm a
you
giraffe.
become... I can't remember the ending because I was watching Neil whilst he was playing it. Is that... Do you come back as a villain at the end?
Bioshock
No.
1, you're kind of a villain. For
Eh.
about half the game.
Yeah.
No, in Bioshock 2, you are. In Bioshock 1, you're a big daddy for a bit, or is it Bioshock 2?
Bioshock 2.
The better one.
I think you get into a suit in Bioshock 1.
Did you just call Bioshock 2 the better one?
It's the best one, yeah. Of the three.
Oh.
In Bioshock 1, you get into a suit.
Yeah.
You're a big daddy. Yeah, in Bioshock 2,
Half-Life, you're technically the kind of the bad guy because all these alien creatures get thrown in through walls and stuff, and they're like, "What the hell's happened? Where am I?" And they just get mental
None
attack.
of these are good examples.
Yeah.
It's like a planned invasion.
There is, well, kind of. The headcrabs didn't know what
In
was
War of
going
the
on.
Worlds, was Tom Cruise the bad guy?
Could have been.
And you know, Shadow of the Colossus works because
He was because he made that movie.
you're tricked into doing it. Like you're doing it for the right reasons.
It
But
doesn't mean that you're a bad guy, though.
I'm pretty sure in Golden Axe you're not the bad guy though,
No, that's
unless the village are like trying to like I don't know.
you don't know why Death Adder
that's
does
a
what he does.
conclusion we can make, I think.
That's yeah. We can,
Maybe
we
on
can-
Death Adder's biography, it would just be the phrase "only
To be
kills
honest,
pedos."
If if I was playing this game and I was paying 50p's, I spent my whole pocket money, and I get to the end and it turns out Death Adder's like, it was all your fault, actually.
My whole pocket money.
I'm like, what? I want to be the hero. I don't want to get to the end and find out I'm a bad guy.
I want
and
to
go
play as
sleep.
Death
Like,
Adder now.
Go home to Mum and Dad and go, Mum and Dad, I learned a horrible life lesson today.
They should
They're
have done
like, good.
They should have done a prequel where you are Death Adder and as a young lad and you go in and kill their families. Like end of the first stage, you get to Gaius Thunderhead's family home and you murder them.
Remember, kids, no
What's
Russian.
what's that freaking awful game that's just being developed where basically you go on a killing rampage? It's like a top
It was
down.
Call of
many
Duty,
games.
No.
FIFA.
I mean, no, literally. No,
He's in the crowd!
It would be so much more interesting. FIFA is just so dull.
He's got
Just
spiked cleats!
have a murdering rampage in
Surely all
there.
cleats are spiked cleats.
There
was-
was metal
Yeah,
cleats.
Cantona back in with his
Kicking him in
kick.
the face!
There was a game on Xbox called Red Card Soccer that was
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like that,
I
where
love
you
that.
could pull like basically finisher moves and aggressive, like really like, you could press a combo that would jump in the air with someone trying. It's a football game where you could jump in the air and kick someone's head off.
Yeah.
and it'd be like, oh,
It
good
was like
tackle.
football mixed with American
Nice.
football.
And it was sadly rubbish, but the idea was fantastic on paper.
They basically did that in Mario Strikers. Except they didn't
Yeah. Excuse me, sorry.
You're still
apologies.
throwing
Yeah, you
files
kicked
at each other.
Peach's head off and then she kept playing. I thought that was a bit weird, but
Yeah.
Nintendo, right?
But anyway, yes, Golden Axe.
You can't just say that and then hope that it'll inspire some kind of in-depth discussion about Golden
Then
Axe.
let's grade it.
If you walked into a pub and saw a Golden Axe machine, I think a Golden Axe machine in a bar would go down really well.
You mean in a regular bar?
Like if I was in a pub and I walked in and went, Jesus Christ,
Just
there's a Golden
any
Axe, there's a Golden
arcade-
Axe machine in the corner.
Just any arcade machine works well in a pub. That's why they're always in there.
Because you could stick like I don't know. Let me think of a crap one.
This could take a while.
Outrun. Outrun.
Neil's...
No, Outrun. I'd go mental if I was on Outrun.
Outrun sucked though, so that's weird.
Yeah, I could be
I-
on a date with the hottest girl in the world, but if there was an Outrun arcade, I was in love. I'm sorry, I've got to go see about a game and just leave her there.
Why don't you take her with you and play it with her?
I don't remember.
Because then the car crashes and we go flying through the air.
I don't remember if I've ever told this story on this show, but I was once in a bar in
What? You were in a bar? Get out.
Go on.
Not
get out,
in France, and my mother was there because my whole family was there, but she's the important part. And there was an arcade machine in the corner where you drove a Ferrari. It was kind of like Outrun, but not as good.
Yeah.
But it was 3D, right? So it had a full physics model, if you will. The
Outrun.
driving wasn't just
Madness?
left and right.
Outrun 2.
The driving wasn't just we turn the
Daytona.
we turn the track, not
It's
the
not
car.
important. Go on.
So I sit down and play it, and then I say, "Hey, Mum, you should come over and play this. Really funny." And she sits down and plays it, and she starts driving it like a regular car. I couldn't drive at that point. I didn't realise you could do that in a video game.
Yeah.
But she was pressing it down like she did in her actual car, and the car was actually going forward at 30 miles an hour, and all these
Yeah.
other cars were passing her, and she was, avoiding the trucks that were coming the other way and stuff. I had no idea that was possible until then. That was a complete mind-blowing experience.
Well, I've given this example before when I remember I got my brother to play Half-Life 2, and there's a bit right near the start where a guard says to you, get in that room. And my brother looked in, there's like a chair, and there's like blood all over the floor. And my brother was like, no, I'm not going to go. What do I do? I went, go in the room. He's like, no, I'm not going to go in the room. It's like, why are you not going in the room? He was like, because why would I go in that room? They're clearly going to beat the crap out of me. If this was real life, I'd be like, well, I want a lawyer. It's like that. And I was like, just go in the damn room.
Oh,
But it
press
is-
the I want a lawyer button.
Yeah, it's
It's
interesting.
E.
And I remember the first time I played Grand Theft Auto, probably 4, that I found the world so kind of like realistic that I would drive politely. Like I wouldn't go on the pavement. I would drive neatly. I would still go through red lights and cut around corners and stuff like that. But yeah,
Everyone does that in real life.
same with any game that I'm like, at first off, I'll be like, wow, it's like Fallout 3. I remember being very like, talking to all the people and playing it properly and being very serious, like walking around, like hiding behind rocks and doing it properly. Eventually you get to the point where you're just like running in and chopping people's heads off for the fun of it. And like, just walking into a school you've never been before. It's like, what's going on here? Don't care, chop their heads off. Oh, they're innocent. Oh, whoops. Doesn't matter.
Death Adder.
Basically, once the game bit kicks in and that's it, I'm like, let's just do this properly. Like Alien Isolation at the moment, I'm playing properly. I'm like walking around, I'm like hiding.
It's like a stealth game though, right? So
But the moment I kind of get the mechanics and I understand,
I think that's the game, man. I don't think
Yeah,
they're going to
there's
be
no
mechanics.
mechanics.
I'll just start running.
You're going to get your
Can't
shotgun
just
out
run.
and blast a bitch.
Yeah, suddenly I'll just become omnipotent.
Is it based on the Alien movies?
Yeah,
Right, okay.
it's probably the most faithful
Yeah, it looks.
to.
it looks
I don't know
good.
what the word like adaptation. It's not adaptation, is
Yeah,
it?
it's an adaptation.
Because it's not one of the movies. It's,
No, but it's not. Yeah, it's
You're Ripley's daughter, I think.
yeah. I can't think what the word is when you're like a spin-off.
Reimagining.
Yeah,
Extended universe.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Like
Video
the
game.
first 20 minutes when you're flying around your own ship, it's like, wow, this visually is to the bone. Looks exactly like an Alien film. It's great.
Nice.
But anyway, we should. So there you go, Alien Isolation. We should go into the review. But the retro. Oh, I've got no trivia either. Trivia closed. I couldn't find any. Apart from the fact it took them about a year to make this, and the lead developer also made Altered Beast before this. So
It took them a year.
Altered Beast. We should have
I
done that
was
on the
considering
show.
doing that on the show, but this is better.
Nah, this is
We've
Golden Axe is
done
much
this
better.
73 times.
74. Well, this is number 74.
Well, this is 74,
Yeah,
so
well,
previously.
Axe.
free Christmas specials.
Golden Axe.
So trivia closed and retrograde time. Anthony shows us how we're going to grade this game
Yeah, types
for
of
the
weapon.
last time.
Types of weapon.
Types of weapon.
Oh god, this is the last time we do this bit.
Wait, what are we doing next episode?
Well, we're not going to grade anything. We're not doing a game. We can grade.
Well, we can grade loads.
What are we
Grade
going to do?
whatever we
You're just
want.
going to banter?
We're going to. Yeah, this is banter. We're going to grade. You listen.
Okay.
Listen,
No,
all the
listeners,
listeners have gone,
it's
"Oh,
going to
God."
be really tightly structured and brilliant, okay? It's
Oh,
not
it's-
just going to be banter.
It's going to flow like a river.
Is it going to be the Retrograde Awards?
We could do maybe a retrograde. or
Worst
retro.
episode ever.
We could base retrograde on retrograde or something. I don't know. Retrograde to retrograde
We
show.
could just grade stuff we see. That controller, that guitar cushion, the
Don't
Union
Beard.
Jack.
Who's got the best beard?
Don't describe my house.
Someone's writing down
Dilapidated
notes.
ruins.
Someone's
troll
writing down
in the
notes
corner.
as he says it. He's, I'm going to find this place.
Google Earth time.
It's an
Need
alternate
someone
reality
that has a
game.
guitar, a cushion, a carpet, and a TV.
And a table.
You
And
just type this into Google, it brings up 2 matches.
a telephone.
People are listening now going telephone, all fancy pants. Anthony,
Yes, it's types of weapon. That's
types
how
of
we're
weapon. We're
grading
going
it.
for types of weapon.
Yeah,
Okay.
but no
Golden
one can
axe.
choose axe.
Oh, that's so good.
Can I choose
Oh.
sharpened hammer?
You'll be sharpening it for so long.
Yeah.
I'm
That would give a
gonna
lot of weight behind it.
I'm
Man,
gonna
that would
go
be
for the AK-47
Okay.
because it is an old gun. It's not, it's not, but it's an old gun. There are much more modern guns that have come out and stuff like that, but yet it's still kind of the favoured gun in by poorer sides and armies and terrorists. And
Poorer.
stuff. Still go less economically developed places. Still use the AK-47 because it's reliable, it's trustworthy, it does the job. It's really good at what it does, and it's
What, killing?
killing. And it's cheap and effective, just like GoldenEye was. Golden Axe is. It's old and a bit rusty, but actually it still delivers and is fantastic.
I'm going to go for a scimitar because it's a type of sword with a bit of flair on it. Yeah.
You're not just saying that because these skeletons have scimitars, are you, Lysanne?
No.
Yeah, I've learned scimitar today. Penultimate
And
scimitar, great day.
yeah, it's a classic design. Really effective. Iconic.
Things good.
Yeah, that's enough.
Okay.
easy to get a handle on.
Just clips on.
Just keeps on, yeah.
I'm going to go for propaganda, the deadliest weapon.
Christ.
Because
Brilliant.
much like the characters in this game
would
use
say
magic
the pen.
to obliterate the battlefield, so too did Hitler use Goring's propaganda. No, Goebbels. Goring was just the military
Goebbels.
dude. Goebbels. Yeah, okay, listen.
It sounds like gerbils.
Gerbils.
Yeah, that's how I remember his name.
Damn those
Yeah.
propaganda gerbils.
His propaganda laid waste
I won't
to
listen.
the battlefield of our minds. So there we go. That's propaganda.
It's good. I liked it. That was good. It was a good metaphor, James. Really in depth and insightful.
Gerbils running around.
These two have no idea about.
The Russians are coming. Stuff like that. Sorry.
Wait, they'd be talking in German. They'd be going Blitzkrieg, Blitzkrieg.
Also, the Russians are coming in that famous part in World War II where the Russians invaded Germany and thus won the war.
Like that. Be like, shut up, gerbil.
Oh, Nazi gerbils, brilliant.
Dun, dun, dun. That's how the film would have ended. As a gerbil sneaks out, they're like, where did the gerbil go? Dun,
What
dun,
film?
dun.
What are you on
I
about?
don't know, World War II as a film.
World War II, the movie.
The movie.
Yeah, they've never done
There
that.
were no films about World War II.
It's a sequel.
idiot.
Yeah, so that's it. Retrograde.
Anthony hasn't done his.
Oh, sorry, go on, Anthony. What's your weapon?
So, no, it's okay. It's my game and it's a penultimate episode.
Sorry.
I don't want to get a grade in. That's not even what this is about.
Oh, please tell me.
Axe. Haha, it was allowed. I lied to you all before.
You
No.
tricked me.
Classic Anthony.
No, I'm choosing a spear because it may not be. I mean, it's kind of like the AK-47 actually, but I thought of it before you said what you said, so I'm sticking with it. It may not be modern. You know, it's not a weapon by modern standards because you can laugh at it on a modern battlefield. But back in the day, it was very effective, and yeah, it got things done. You know, it was an impressive piece of kit. So spear.
That's why javelin throwing became an Olympic sport, was because obviously javelin
really?
is a spear. And so when you're throwing if you can throw a javelin well, then you can also throw a spear. So yeah. Javelins are just spears.
Same with the discus for death frisbees
Yeah.
on the battle axe, on the
Yeah.
battle axe on the battlefield.
I wonder why in the Olympics they
You're
do...
thinking of the hammer throw, which is another weapon.
No, discus.
I wonder why in the Olympics javelin they just go on
Discus
who
as
can
well.
throw it the furthest rather than accuracy. It'd be more fun if it was
Well-
accuracy.
Yeah, but the whole point of a spear is that you can lob it a long way and kill someone.
Yeah, but if I'm on a battlefield and I watch someone lob a
Yeah.
spear and it goes
Yeah,
well
but
over
you
my head,
start
and I
off.
go,
Good point.
You
that
start
guy's got-
off.
that guy's
you
got a
start
good
off
lob.
quite far away. The idea is to kill as many of them before
no,
they
still.
reach to you for hand-to-hand
Because I would
combat.
imagine they include archery in the Olympics for the same reason, right?
Yeah.
But that is graded on accuracy. So I'm with Jack on this one.
Yeah, that's true. Right to the Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
But
They should just
Jack,
aim for
Who's
the guy.
in charge of it?
Aim for the
Sepp
guys.
Blatter?
They should
That's
aim for the
FIFA.
guys with the
Oh,
tape
he's
measures.
FIFA.
Just watch all the guys with tape
Hans
measures
Blitz.
running around left and right. Going,
Could be, I'm not
"Whoa."
sure.
Jack, it's not just you running towards the enemy
Hans
army and they're
Blitz.
throwing spears and you're like, oh, went too far. It's you and about 50,000 other people. So the javelin's going to hit someone.
Not
I think they
necessarily.
made the-
Not if he's got a bloody good throw on him.
They made the archery about accuracy, but it goes right over. It's like, you're good at the Olympics, but stop doing that shit here.
You're wasting spears, mate.
Stop trying to press those, stop trying to kill them. It's like, look at this throw. Oof.
It's in the wrong direction.
Wait, why is he shouting egg?
He's thrown it backwards. They're like,
When-
where are
when-
you going, mate? He goes, I don't know, but it went far though, didn't it?
Went right behind the army, you see that? 10 points. There's no points. Stop killing people.
Just want to scare them. Oh, I'm having a whale of a time. Did someone just have a point they were going to make about something?
No.
Oh, never mind. Okay, that is the Retrograde Show. Thanks for listening. I need to get my script out because I've forgotten what I say, even though I've done it 74 times.
We've done it 73 times, this is 74.
Sorry,
Your
okay.
number's right.
So, thanks for listening. You can find all information, all links regarding this podcast, as well as all our other sister podcasts at psychon.net, the home of geek culture. Make sure to check it out. Just a reminder again that the Retrograde podcast is hosted for a few more episodes on the Psychon network. So head over to psychon.tv to become a patron for our show and support the network. They're getting loads of donations recently. When we start
Oh, so we
announcing...
don't need to advertise anymore.
When we started announcing we're not going to do the show anymore, the donations went up.
Coincidence?
They were like, thank God for that. I should have said, like, donate to us and we'll leave. As if they've been forced to listen to the show. I hate this show so much, I'm going to donate money so it ends. Anyway, we're going to be back in 2 weeks with our final episode of Retrograde. No more games. It's going to be a bumper episode where we talk about us.
Ourselves, yeah.
Ourselves, grade ourselves.
Great time.
But yeah, so that's a goodbye from me, Jack Marshall. Goodbye from Anthony Hobday.
Goodbye.
Goodbye from Lysanne Fisher.
Goodbye.
And goodbye from James MacFadyen.
I just like to thank everyone who's contacted us with like nice messages and stuff, because it really like. Whenever I'm like listening to either a podcast or watching like a web show or whatever, and like, yeah, get in touch. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. Why would I do that? Who would do that? But it actually makes us feel really good. You know, it's nice. So if you want to, then do it. And if you don't want to, then rethink it and do it. Also, check out the Fargo TV show, because it's actually really good, and it's almost as good as the film. And the soundtrack is great. See you later.